Ciele Cosmetics review coming right up. They currently have 3 products, and 3 products we have to test and review. Let's get into it. Ciele Cosmetics, it's a clean brand. They're an acne safe brand, so non-comedogenic, and also their SPF makeup. So this first product is the Ciele Tint and Protect SPF 50 Tinted Serum. The Ciele Tinted Serum is $44, medium coverage or a buildable coverage, natural finish. I'm not seeing any longevity claims, but this is where the wear test is going to come in, right? We're gonna see how this wears. So shake very well before use, and then they recommend to use 6 to 9 drops directly onto your skin, to your fingertips, to a brush or a sponge, whatever you want to apply the skin tint with. On the brush, we'll do 3 drops for each side, and then we can build up. 1, 2, 3. Left side, we'll do the drops. So I'm just gonna gently start tapping. And I prefer the tapping motion just because I get the best coverage with that. And I think the color will make it work. It's a little light, but that's fine. All right, 3 drops. It's blending out really nice. But for a tinted serum, I should have no issues with blendability. Oh, look at that. Okay. Do the forehead. Again, we're expecting a natural finish. And I think I'm getting a little more than a natural finish. I'm getting like a natural dewy finish. Okay, where's my sponge? We'll do the same thing. 3 drops directly on the sponge. But it's looking really good so far. No issues with blendability. I can kind of see it in some areas where it's just sitting on top of my skin, but that could also be due to the lighter shade than my skin tone. The sponge is soaking up a little more product than the brush, so we're not getting as even of a coverage from side to side. 3 more drops on the brush. Do a little bit more on this side where the sponge was, just to get a little more coverage. And again, I give it some time with the first layer to set. I'm curious how this is going to wear my combination skin. I think it layered really nice though. It's very even. I'm not looking splotchy in any areas. But let's do the rest of my makeup. I'm gonna quickly do my bronzer, contour, my eyes, and then we'll come back because we have a blush, a liquid blush from Ciele, and their SPF powder. My contour stick, Westman Atelier. Concealer, Tower 28. So the next new makeup from Ciele is their liquid blush. It's supposed to be a creamy, hydrating formula with a natural finish. I like liquid blushes that have a natural finish. And the name is one of my favorite things about this blush. Elodie. For this beautiful peachy coral blush shade. I had to get it because it's my daughter's name. So the application, again, super easy. Use the doe foot applicator, a small drop on your cheek. You can use your fingers, a brush, or a sponge to blend it out. I'm gonna use the Rare Beauty, the blush brush. Ooh, actually getting a pretty good color payoff. Thought it was gonna be a little bit more sheer, but no. What is that white dot on my cheek? Where'd you come from? Got her. I'm actually impressed with how easy this blush is to blend. I am impressed with the color payoff with just the 1 dot.
Super blendable.
Very blendable, wow. This is very user-friendly. That is beautiful. I kind of want a little bit more. Next, let's review the Ciele. This is their SPF 30 powder, and this retails for $38. So this powder I picked up in shade number 1. They have 2 other shades. So the Ciele Filter and Protect powder has SPF of 30. It's supposed to smooth, blur, and set your makeup. I love these for touch-ups throughout the day, but this one feels so soft. Wow. Okay, we are using this to set the makeup. They also say you can use a brush Ooh, okay, I think this one has the mesh type of. I'm gonna take the powder puff and gently work it into the puff. Let's start with the forehead. That's definitely mattifying. I would not say that's a natural finish. Wow, yes, yeah, it's definitely blurring. I'm looking a little dry right now. I'm gonna take a brush and just gently sweep across my face just to get rid of any powder sitting there. So overall, I would say my face looks pretty blurred and very smooth right now. Kind of looks like I have a filter on my skin. But upon application with the Ciele, the Filter and Protect powder, it's drying off the bat. You really have to work it into your skin. So I think if you have really dry skin, even like normal to dry, I don't think you're gonna like this as much, just because yes, it's very blurring and smoothing, but it's extremely mattifying, which I don't know or how they say it's supposed to be a natural finish. It's definitely a mattifying, very mattifying finish. So I think if you have normal to combo skin or very oily skin, you might really enjoy this. So we'll see how it wears and how much it absorbs the excess oils throughout the day. So we'll focus really on the T-zone, because with my combination skin, the T-zone gets extremely oily throughout the day. So let's go on to the next part of the review, the wear test. We are a little over 3 hours into the review for the Ciele Cosmetics. One negative to note with this powder and the skin tint, because the oils are starting to break down the powder just a tad, especially around the nose, and I'm noticing right here around the chin and my mouth, it's really starting to settle into the fine lines and into the crevices on my face. So it's not looking great right here. Like you can see the skin tint and the powder not meshing well together on my skin type. I have combination skin, so the natural oils, they're rising to the surface, and that powder is trying to combat the oil, and it's the oil and the skin tint, it's really settling into the crevices and the texture on my skin. But the cheeks still look good, the jaw looks good, and the forehead surprisingly looks really good. But I'll keep you guys updated at the end of the day. We made it over 13 hours for the wear test. This is going to conclude the review for Ciele Cosmetics for the skin tint, the liquid blush, and the powder. I actually still like the forehead. I'm looking a little more glowy, obviously, and I feel a little more oily, but really impressed with how the forehead is looking. You guys see my updates. You see how oily my forehead gets. My forehead is the oiliest part of my face, and I'm pretty impressed that yes, I look glowy, but it doesn't feel very oily and like very tight. So moving on to the rest of my face, it's not looking good. This part right here, it's looking even worse. Obviously, just the makeup itself, it's cracking really bad. It looks really dry. It looks really aged. It looks very, just not good by any means. So not happy with this. I think my favorite product from this entire Ciele Cosmetics line is the liquid blush, and it's definitely worth looking into. It's one of the easiest liquid blushes to work with. The blendability is incredible. Even Andre mentioned, wow, that is a very blendable blush. The finish of the liquid blush is stunning on the cheeks. It doesn't exaggerate the texture. It doesn't enhance the pores. Sometimes liquid blushes, the way it sits on the cheeks kind of starts moving into like the crevices of the face. You know, if you have some fine lines, the pores, like it just doesn't look good. But this liquid blush, it melts seamlessly into the skin and it just becomes one with the skin. But moving on to the skin tint, I did enjoy the skin tint overall, but I think if you're an oilier skin type, it's not going to be a great long wearing skin tint, just because it's very radiant, very glowy, and if you don't set it, it does feel very tacky, and it's that type of a skin tint where it probably will start slipping and sliding on the face. So I do appreciate the fact how easy the skin tint was to blend, that it's buildable in a good way. It doesn't look heavy or cakey. but just the longevity, it's just not there. But I'm gonna have a lot more information on our website, milabubeautyreview.com. I'm gonna end the video here. Thank you for watching and spending time with me, and I'll see you next one very soon.